All right, adventurers, welcome back. We're diving back into the Falcon trilogy.
Yeah.
Picking up where we left off with Flames of the Falcon.
Here we go.
The final chapter in this epic saga.
It is, and it is epic.
It is.
And it starts off with a bang. We're right in the city of Greyhawk.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Things are not looking so good.
No. The Falcon's plans are coming to fruition.
Right.
The city's in turmoil. The people are terrified.
Yeah.
Strange things are happening. The weather is going crazy. Storms are ravaging the city. There's a strange whirlpool that appears in the river.
Yeah.
People are starting to turn on each other. I mean, it's mass chaos.
Yeah. It's a city under siege.
It is.
Really. From within and without.
Yeah.
But there is some hope, right?
There is some hope.
We have this new character, Mizab,
He's
who seems like just a helpful mage, right?
Seems that way, right? Just a helpful mage who wants to protect the city and help the party.
Yeah.
But there's a little twist.
Yeah. There's a big twist.
A big twist. Mizab is actually a Greyhawk dragon.
A disguised Greyhawk dragon.
In disguise, yeah.
Yeah.
Living amongst the humans.
Yeah. So that raises a lot of questions.
Right. I mean, why is a dragon hiding as a human? What are his motivations?
Right.
What's he doing there? I mean, is he trying to protect the city? Is he trying to manipulate events?
Yeah. Is this like a long play?
It could be. I mean, dragons think in centuries, right?
Yeah.
So this could be part of some grand scheme that we don't even know about.
Yeah. And it makes you wonder how long he's been there, living as this mage.
Has he been watching the Falcon this whole time?
Yeah.
Has he been waiting for this moment?
Like, is this intervention, is it by chance?
Right.
Or is it calculated?
Yeah. And what does his presence mean for the party?
Yeah.
Are they going to trust him?
Right.
Are they going to be suspicious of him?
Yeah.
How does it affect the dynamics of the group?
And I think even more interesting than that is his mansion.
Oh, Grey Manor.
Grey Manor.
Yes. This is not your average wizard's tower.
No. This is like...
This is a fortress.
Yeah.
It's got secret passages, magical defenses.
Yeah.
It even has a team of treant guardians.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Imagine, glass steel spells reinforcing the windows. Right. A network of tunnels for escape routes.
Uh-huh.
This is serious preparation.
Yeah. How long has he been planning for something?
Right.
To happen in Greyhawk.
It really speaks to, the dragon's meticulous nature, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they plan for everything.
Yeah.
They're long-lived creatures.
They're chess masters, right?
Absolutely. Playing the long game.
Yeah. But while he's got this, amazingly well-defended home,
right,
the city itself is falling apart.
It is.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's falling into chaos.
Yeah, and it's not just random chaos. This is orchestrated chaos.
Right.
The Falcon is deliberately manipulating events to sow fear and discord.
Right.
She's using her powers, her influence, her followers to turn people against each other.
Yeah.
To undermine the authorities.
Yeah.
To create an environment where she can seize control.
And it's a good reminder that, a villain in D&D,
Yeah.
or a villain in any story, really.
Right.
Doesn't have to just be this big, powerful brute, right?
No.
They can be smart.
They can be cunning.
Yeah.
They can be manipulative.
Yeah.
They can use psychology.
Yeah.
They can use fear.
They can use the environment.
Absolutely.
Right.
And the Falcon is a master of this.
Yeah. And so the party finds themselves kind of having to navigate this city that's falling apart.
Yeah.
And they follow the trail of clues, right?
They do.
Which leads them to this whirlpool in the river.
That's right. That mysterious whirlpool. It's like a giant drain sucking the river down into the Underdark.
Yeah. And this leads them
And to the depths.
into the Underdark, right?
Yes.
And the heart of the Falcon's lair.
Into the Underdark. To the Darrow. To the hook horrors.
Yeah.
The mean locks.
Yeah.
Headfish.
Yeah, the headfish. Now, these are...
Headfish. I mean, I'm not
little-
familiar with these creatures.
Yeah. Headfish are a deep, deep Underdark creature.
Yeah.
They generate their own heat. A lot of heat.
Uh,
And the Darrows have actually figured out how to use that heat
really?
to warm their part of the lair.
Huh.
It's a really cool example of how creatures can interact with their environment
Right.
and how that can be used in interesting ways.
Yeah.
So it's not just a monster, it's part of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And it's, a reminder that you can do that in your own games.
Yeah.
Think about how creatures can be used to create interesting challenges or opportunities for your players.
And then we have the political side of things.
Oh, the political intrigue. Right. This isn't just the Falcon.
No.
Working alone.
This is a team effort.
Right.
She's got alliances with the Darrow, with other dark forces, each with their own agenda, their own motivations.
Yeah.
So it's not just a simple good versus evil, it's a web of intrigue.
Right.
With shifting alliances.
Yeah, and we see that, I mean, right off the bat.
Immediately.
With the introduction of another Greyhawk dragon.
Estrella Shanfarrell.
Estrella Shanfarrell.
But she's not there for a reunion. She's been kidnapped by the Falcon.
Yeah, which again raises a lot of questions.
It does.
How do you even capture...
How do you capture a dragon?
A Greyhawk dragon.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, these are powerful creatures.
Yeah.
Ancient magic. Incredible strength.
Yeah. So how do you even begin to subdue something like that?
Yeah, and this is where Mizab's knowledge of his own kind becomes crucial.
Right.
He reveals that Greyhawk dragons have a unique vulnerability. Their hearts are on the right side of their chest.
Oh, wow.
The opposite of most creatures.
Okay. So this is interesting because...
It's a fascinating detail, right?
Yeah. It makes them vulnerable.
It makes them vulnerable.
But it also makes you wonder, is it just like
an evolutionary quirk?
A quirk?
Yeah.
Or is there something more to it?
Yeah. Is it a curse?
Yeah.
Is it a result of some ancient magic?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we have to wait and see.
We'll talk and see how that plays out.
Yeah. But regardless.
Right.
It adds this vulnerability to these otherwise
incredibly powerful creatures.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is going to be important as the adventure unfolds.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Especially as the party ventures deeper into the Darrow lair.
They do.
Right. Which is described as
a twisted reflection of dwarven architecture.
Okay.
And ingenuity.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got these ballista traps, chambers filled with floating eyes, a pool of boiling water heated by those hetfish we were talking about.
Right.
It's a classic dungeon crawl environment.
Yeah.
But with a Darrow twist.
Yeah.
And the Darrow themselves are fascinating.
Yeah.
They're not just mindless monsters.
Right.
They're a complex society.
Yeah.
With a twisted code of laws, an obsession with cruelty, and a perversion of knowledge.
Yeah, it's like they take everything that dwarves are known for, and they just kind of like invert it.
They invert it.
Yeah. It's really interesting.
It's really creepy.
Yeah, and you get the sense that this is all part of the Falcon's plan.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
This is not just about rebuilding her cult.
Right.
This is about something bigger.
Yeah.
She wants to unleash a devastating attack on Greyhawk, using her followers, her alliances, and an army of undead to seize control and establish herself as the new ruler.
Yeah. So
the stakes are high.
The stakes are incredibly high.
Yeah. And the party's got to make some tough choices.
Yeah.
Do they confront the Falcon directly?
Right.
Or do they try to disrupt her plans from within?
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so compelling, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not just about fighting monsters.
Right.
It's about making choices that have consequences. And those consequences can be far-reaching.
Yeah. And speaking of consequences,
yes,
we have to talk about the storms.
Oh, the storms.
Right. These strange storms that have been battering Greyhawk.
Yeah. They're not just random weather events.
Right.
They're actually playing a pivotal role in the adventure.
Okay.
The heavy rains have caused a cave-in beneath the river, which is what created that whirlpool.
Right.
But it's also disrupted the Falcon's plans.
Really?
And created a new passage into the depths of her lair.
Oh, wow.
So it's like the forces of nature are inadvertently aiding the party.
Right.
In their efforts to stop her.
So it's a double-edged sword.
It is. It's a twist.
Yeah.
And it sets the stage for the final act of the adventure.
Oh, it can.
The daring rescue of Estrella
right.
in the epic showdown with the Falcon.
All right. So we're about to head into...
We're about to get intense.
Yeah, we're about to head into the climax of this story.
Yes.
The final confrontation.
The final confrontation.
We'll have to save that.
For next time.
For next time.
All right.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Now, the rescue of Estrella, this is where it gets really tense.
Yeah.
We've got this ticking clock. The Falcon's plans are in motion. And the party is racing against time to save her.
Yeah.
But it brings us back to that question of how do you even capture a dragon?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still stumped on that one. Like,
right.
Estrella, she's a powerful Greyhawk dragon.
She is.
I mean, How do you even begin to subdue something like that?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And the adventure doesn't give us all the answers, but it does give us some clues.
Okay.
There are signs of a struggle in her chambers. Her servants were found bound and gagged.
Right.
So it seems like it wasn't a straight-up fight.
Yeah.
There was some element of surprise.
Right.
Maybe some magic involved.
Yeah, because a direct confrontation with a dragon like that,
yeah,
it just wouldn't end well.
Yeah, you'd be toast.
Yeah. But remember,
think about this.
We talked about that Greyhawk dragon vulnerability.
All right. Their hearts are on the right side of their chest.
Yes.
Opposite of most creatures.
Right. And that has to play a role.
It could. It could definitely play a role.
Yeah. I mean...
It makes you wonder if the Falcon somehow exploited that weakness.
Right. Yeah.
To capture Estrella.
Yeah. And then there's that cave-in.
Oh, right.
That happened beneath the river.
From those storms.
Yeah. And it created a new passage.
A secret way into the lair.
Yeah.
Bypassing the Darrow's defenses.
Yeah. It seems a little too convenient.
I mean, it does seem a bit convenient, but...
almost like it was designed for the party to get in there.
Right. But remember, we're dealing with an adventure that has a Greyhawk dragon on the player's side.
Right.
So the writers had to balance things out a bit.
Yeah.
They needed to create a dramatic rescue without making it impossible.
Yeah.
And that new passage... It allows for that. It lets them get close.
Yeah.
Without just relying on Mizab's power to blast their way in.
Right. So it adds some tension.
Adds a lot of tension.
Yeah. Without, making it too easy.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I imagine the Falcon never saw this coming.
Probably not. Dragons can plan for a lot of things, but...
Right.
Not for a sudden cave-in.
Yeah. Acts of God. Right.
Exactly. And that brings us to... the rescue itself.
Oh, okay.
The party descends into this damp, echoing cavern, Mizab leading the way, and they come across this site, Estrella, trapped in an iron cage.
Okay.
Suspended over a bottomless chasm.
Oh, no. This sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. It's a pretty dire situation.
Yeah.
The party has to figure out how to lower that cage without dropping her into the abyss.
Yeah. And the Falcon.
Oh, yeah.
Is she just going to let them waltz in and free Estrella?
Well, that's where the adventure gets really interesting.
Okay.
There's a chance
Yeah.
that the Falcon might be there,
Okay.
waiting for them
Right.
to spring a trap.
Yeah. So does Mizab have to reveal his true form to save her?
There's a scenario in the adventure
Okay.
where the Falcon does appear,
Okay.
and she taunts Mizab,
Uh-huh.
threatens to drop Estrella into the pit,
Oh, no.
unless he surrenders or meets her demands.
Classic villain move.
Right. It's all about exploiting those emotional vulnerabilities.
Yeah, putting him in an impossible situation.
Right. Does he risk Estrella's life by refusing? Or does he play along, knowing the Falcon might betray him anyway?
Ugh. It's a tough choice.
Yeah, it's a real dilemma.
Yeah.
But if the Falcon follows through on her threat,
Yeah.
Mizab transforms into his true dragon form.
Oh, wow.
Without hesitation.
Yeah.
And dives into the chasm after Estrella.
Right.
And it's described as this incredible scene.
Yeah.
The party just watches as the sounds of a struggle echo up from the darkness.
Oh, man.
Then silence.
Oh, wow.
And then Mizab rises from the depths.
Yeah.
With Estrella safe in his grasp.
That's awesome.
It's a powerful moment.
Yeah.
It shows the depth of his loyalty to his own kind.
Yeah. But the Falcon.
She realizes she's underestimated her opponent.
Uh-huh.
And she tries to flee.
Okay.
But the party's not going to let her get away that easily.
Right.
They've come too far.
Yeah.
They pursue her relentlessly.
Yeah.
Through the tunnels of her lair.
Right into the final showdown.
Into the final showdown.
Yep.
In the largest chamber of the lair.
Okay.
It's a fitting setting for this epic clash.
Yeah. Good versus evil.
The fate of Greyhawk hanging in the balance.
Yeah. So we've got the party on one side.
Right.
Bolstered by Mizab.
Right.
And then?
Determined to stop the Falcon once and for all.
Right. And then we have the Falcon.
Desperate, vengeful,
yeah,
commanding her followers and hordes of undead.
And her alliances.
Right. Don't forget about the alliances.
Yeah, the DeGruff and whoever else she's managed to wrangle into this.
Right. This is a coalition of dark forces.
Yeah.
All united against the party.
So this is a massive battle.
It's a huge battle.
Yeah. What kind of challenges does it present?
Oh, tons of challenges. I mean, you've got the sheer number of enemies.
Right.
You've got the unique abilities of the Falcon's followers.
Yeah.
Like, her mage, Raphael. He's got some potent spells.
Yeah, and the Falcon herself.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget about her.
Yeah, I mean...
She's a cunning spellcaster.
Yeah.
She's got access to powerful magic.
Right.
Including a unique spell called Water Bomb.
Water Bomb. What's that?
So it's this spell designed specifically for this adventure.
Okay.
And it allows her to conjure a grapefruit-sized ball of water.
Okay.
And hurl it with incredible force.
Okay.
It causes significant damage.
Right.
Can knock people off balance.
Yeah.
Imagine that in an enclosed space, like an underground chamber.
That sounds devastating.
Yeah, it's a nasty surprise.
Yeah.
And it really shows how resourceful the Falcon is as an antagonist.
Yeah.
She's always got a trick up her sleeve.
Yeah. So this is a true test for the party.
It is.
Yeah.
Of their strength, their skill, their strategy.
Yeah. Do they succeed?
Well, that's ultimately up to the dungeon master and players.
Right.
But the adventure strongly suggests that the Falcon's plans are thwarted.
Okay.
Her followers are defeated.
Yeah.
And Greyhawk is saved from her tyranny.
That's good. That's good. But I can't imagine a victory of this scale.
Right.
Comes without cost.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
The party has faced incredible dangers.
Yeah.
Witnessed the depths of depravity. They've confronted their own mortality.
Yeah. So what's the aftermath?
Well, Greyhawk is scarred.
Okay.
But resilient.
Yeah.
The citizens are grateful. They shower the party with gratitude.
Right.
Rewards, gifts,
yeah.
thanks.
Yeah. But what about the Falcon?
What about the Falcon?
Is she captured?
Well...
Is she killed?
Again, it's left up to the dungeon master.
Okay.
But the adventure makes it clear.
Yeah.
Her cult is shattered.
Okay.
Her power is broken.
Right.
And she's no longer a threat.
Right. Right. At least not an immediate threat.
Right. Not an immediate threat.
Yeah. So it's a decisive victory.
It is.
But it comes at a cost.
It always does.
Yeah. But what about the lasting implications?
The lasting implications.
Yeah. What kind of thought does this leave us with?
Well, it reminds us that the forces of darkness, they might be defeated, but they're never truly vanquished.
Okay.
The Darrow, they've been driven back into the Underdark.
Right.
But they're still out there. They're still a threat.
Yeah.
Their ambition to dominate the surface world, it's still there.
Yeah.
It's undimmed.
Yeah, they're just waiting for another opportunity.
Exactly.
Right.
And it makes you wonder, what happens if they find a new leader?
Okay.
Someone even more cunning and ruthless than the Falcon.
Yeah. What would that look like?
What would that threat look like?
Yeah.
And who would rise to meet it?
That's a scary thought.
It is a scary thought.
Yeah. It's funny, we're talking about this adventure that's like 40 years old?
Yeah, give or take.
But it still feels so relevant.
Absolutely.
To 5th edition players today.
Absolutely.
Like these themes of political intrigue, good versus evil.
Yeah.
Moral ambiguity.
Yeah. It's timeless.
It's timeless.
Yeah.
And it's adaptable.
Incredibly adaptable.
Yeah.
I mean, you could take this adventure with a few tweaks here and there and run it in a 5th edition game.
Really? Like, how would you do that?
Well, update some of the monster stat blocks.
Right.
Maybe adjust some of the spells, the magic items.
Yeah, make it fit the 5th edition rules.
Right, exactly. But the core story is there.
Yeah.
The Falcon's return, the alliance with the Darrow, the kidnapping of Estrella. It all translates beautifully.
Yeah. Be like breathing new life into this classic adventure.
Right. Introducing it to a new generation of players.
Yeah. Showing how D&D has evolved, but also how it stayed true to its roots.
Absolutely. And it's a great opportunity to look at how certain creatures have evolved over time.
Okay, like who?
Well, take the Darrow, for example.
Okay, yeah.
In Flames of the Falcon, their madness stems from isolation.
Right.
And this twisted pursuit of knowledge.
Right.
But in 5th edition, their madness is tied to the Daelkyr.
Oh, right. Those chaotic entities from the far realm.
Exactly. It adds a whole other layer of cosmic horror to their story.
Yeah. Like, they're not just mad.
No.
They're influenced by these...
alien entities.
Yeah, these otherworldly beings.
Yeah. And that gives dungeon masters some interesting options.
Okay, like what?
Well, you could lean into that Daelkyr connection, portray the Darrow as these unwitting pawns, driven by this subconscious desire to serve their alien masters.
Yeah, it makes them even creepier.
Right. It takes them from a dangerous but localized threat
Yeah.
to something far more sinister.
Yeah, like a cosmic horde.
Yeah. Or you could go a more grounded route.
Okay.
Focus on their obsession with knowledge, their desire for domination,
Right.
and present them as a threat in their own right.
Yeah. So it's really up to the DM.
It's up to the DM how they want to portray them.
Yeah. And I guess that speaks to the flexibility of D&D.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like you can take these classic elements and adapt them. To fit your own campaign world.
Exactly. And beyond its adaptability, Flames of the Falcon gives us a glimpse.
Yeah.
Into Greyhawk.
Ah, yes. Greyhawk.
One of the most iconic D&D settings.
Yeah. The OG setting, right?
Yeah. Gary Gygax's homebrew world.
Yeah. I've heard of it, but I'm not super familiar with it.
It's a sprawling world. Rich history. Diverse cultures, legendary characters. And what's cool about this adventure is that it takes place right in the city of Greyhawk itself.
So you get to see.
You get to see the city.
Yeah, like what it's like.
You get to walk the streets, interact with the inhabitants.
Yeah.
It's not just a dungeon crawl.
Right.
It's a chance to experience the city firsthand.
What's it like? What's the city like?
Well, the adventure gives us some details about the government.
Okay.
The social structure, the economy, even the religious institutions.
Okay.
We meet characters like Derider, the constable of Greyhawk.
Okay.
Who's trying to maintain order amidst the chaos that the Falcons unleashed.
Right. Yeah. So we're not just dealing with abstract concepts.
No.
Right.
This is affecting real people.
Yeah.
Real lives.
Yeah. And it makes Greyhawk feel real.
It does. It makes it feel lived in.
Yeah.
It makes it feel like a place you could actually visit.
Yeah. A place you could get lost in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it makes me want to explore it more,
I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Greyhawk's an amazing setting.
Yeah.
Full of adventure, intrigue, wonder.
Yeah. And Flames of the Falcon is a great entry point.
It is. It's a great introduction to the setting.
Yeah.
And to the themes that make D&D so compelling.
Yeah. And it reminds us that choices have consequences.
Absolutely.
Even in a world of fantasy.
Yeah.
And that the fight for good is never truly over.
It's a never-ending battle.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great place to wrap up.
I think so, too.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
We've explored the twists and turns of the adventure, the characters, the adaptability to 5th edition.
Absolutely.
The history of Greyhawk.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
Yeah, it has. Really has. And hopefully it's inspired you.
Yes.
To revisit this classic adventure.
Or explore Greyhawk for the first time.
Yeah, or even create your own stories.
Absolutely.
In this amazing world.
That's what it's all about.
So, until next time.
Keep those dice rolling.
Keep those dice rolling and your imagination soaring.